Who will be the first X-Men of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Will Hugh Jackman continue as Wolverine? Has Marvel really found its new Cyclops? With Jean Grey already entering the picture, the team is beginning to take shape. But there is still a major difference between confirmed actors, names reported by the entertainment press, behind-the-scenes rumors, and popular fan choices. Before we begin, tell us in the comments which mutant absolutely needs to be part of the team. Leave a like to help this video reach more fans. And subscribe to Nerd Society to follow the latest casting news and discover the stories behind the new X-Men. Let's begin. Gambit, Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum has already played Gambit and finally brought to life a project he spent years trying to get onto the big screen. However, his version belongs to Marvel's multiverse era, and there is no confirmation that he will become a permanent member of the rebooted X-Men team. Marvel could still decide to cast a younger Remy LeBeau after this transition. Tatum has the charisma, physical presence, and comedic timing necessary to play someone confident without reducing Gambit to a joke. His personal connection to the character also makes a difference. The actor understands the importance of the Cajun accent, the charge playing cards, and the provocative attitude, hiding a much more complicated past. Keeping Tatum could also create an immediate connection with Rogue and introduce someone even the X-Men themselves are never completely sure they can trust. On the other hand, his age may not fit the younger generation Marvel appears to be building. The studio may eventually have to choose between keeping the popularity Tatum has already earned, or using his version as a passing of the torch to another actor. Wolverine, Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is already established within the MCU multiverse, but his involvement in the new X-Men movie has not been confirmed. He could continue playing Wolverine through the conclusion of the multiverse storyline, but that does not guarantee that he will become the definitive Logan Marvel follows for the next several years. Jackman transformed Wolverine into one of the most recognizable comic book characters in movie history. He understands Logan's aggression, dry humor, and the pain of a man who keeps surviving while losing almost everyone important to him. His presence would still generate more immediate attention than almost any replacement Marvel could announce. However, placing him at the center of the team again could repeat one of the biggest problems with the previous X-Men movies. The X-Men often became supporting characters in Wolverine's story. The best solution could be to present Jackman as a veteran displaced from another reality and eventually introduce a new Logan. That way, Marvel could honor his legacy without taking attention away from Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Storm. Beast, Charles Melton. Charles Melton was mentioned by insider Jeff Snyder as an actor reportedly nearing a deal to play Beast. The claim spread across several websites and social media platforms, but Marvel has not confirmed it, and it has not received the same level of public reporting as the stories involving Kit Connor and Samara Weaving. For now, Melton should still be treated as a behind-the-scenes rumor. In May-December, the actor demonstrated an ability to communicate guilt, insecurity, and suppressed emotion without relying on dramatic speeches. He also has the physical presence necessary to portray Hank McCoy. That combination matters because Beast cannot simply be a muscular character created through visual effects. Behind the animalistic appearance is a brilliant scientist terrified of losing his humanity. Hank could study the emergence of the X gene, help younger mutants understand their abilities, and serve as a connection between the X-Men and other scientists throughout the MCU. His transformation would also allow Marvel to explore an interesting contradiction. The more animalistic Hank appears, the more desperately he tries to prove his intelligence and civility to a world determined to see him as a monster. Rogue, Kelly Spaney. Kelly Spaney appeared in the same wave of behind-the-scenes reports and was described as one of the leading candidates to play Rogue. The report suggested that she was close to landing the role, but no contract has been publicly announced. Like Charles Melton, Spaney appears to be more than a simple fan cast, but she is still far from officially confirmed. In Priscilla and Alien, Romulus, Spaney demonstrated vulnerability, strength, and fear without making her characters appear helpless. That combination fits Anna Marie, a young woman who cannot touch another person without absorbing their powers, memories, and part of their personality. Rogue needs to feel dangerous, even when she is desperately trying to protect someone. Spaney's age would also fit a younger team, potentially led by Cyclops and Jean. In the comics, Rogue began as an enemy and permanently absorbed Carol Danvers' powers and memories before seeking help from the X-Men. The MCU could use that conflict to connect her to the Avengers, while demonstrating that Xavier's school offers a second chance to mutants who have already been labeled as threats. Storm, Jodie Turner-Smith. At the moment, no actress appears to be truly close to securing the role of Storm. Jodie Turner-Smith, Cynthia Erivo, and several other names frequently appear in online discussions, but that does not mean negotiations have actually taken place. Turner-Smith appears on this list as one of the most interesting fan choices, not as a Marvel reported favorite. She has the elegance, presence, and authority necessary for Aurora Monroe to command a room without ever raising her voice. Performances such as Queen and Slim showed that she can communicate strength and vulnerability at the same time. Storm needs to be portrayed as a leader, not simply as the team member responsible for creating lightning during battle scenes. Aurora should have a central position within a new team. Beyond controlling the weather, she has been worshipped as a goddess, led the X-Men, and ruled Wakanda alongside Black Panther. The MCU could also explore her claustrophobia, creating a powerful contrast between a woman capable of commanding the entire sky and the terror she experiences when trapped inside a small space. Professor Xavier, Bill Skarsgård. Bill Skarsgård and Tom Pelphrey have both been connected to the role of Professor Xavier through behind-the-scenes rumors, but neither actor has been confirmed. Some reports have placed Pelphrey in a more advanced position, while Skarsgård continues to appear among the names being discussed. Our choice would be Skarsgård because he could offer a version of Charles Xavier very different from what audiences have already seen. Known for playing intense and unpredictable characters, Skarsgård could reveal that Charles Xavier is not simply a kind mentor. In the comics, Xavier has erased memories, manipulated people, and hidden important truths from his own students. Skarsgård could maintain Charles's calm appearance while leaving the audience uncertain about the professor's true intentions. His age would also allow him to remain with the team for many years and portray Xavier while he is still building his school, making mistakes, and learning how to lead. Instead of beginning as a universally respected figure, Charles could actually have to earn the trust of his students. Tom Pelphrey could bring a more explosive energy to the character. Skarsgård could make Xavier appear gentle, while remaining extremely difficult to understand. Emma Frost, Samara Weaving. Samara Weaving was reported by Deadline as Marvel's choice to play Emma Frost. That is a much stronger report than rumors coming only from social media. But there is still a difference between reporting from the entertainment press and an announcement directly from Marvel Studios. For now, she should be described as the reported choice for the role, still awaiting public confirmation from Marvel. Weaving can move between elegance, sarcasm, and violence within seconds, in Ready or Not. She played a sophisticated woman forced into a brutal situation without losing the personality that made the character memorable. Emma requires exactly that combination. She may appear cold and arrogant, but she is capable of taking extreme measures to protect the young mutants under her responsibility. The character could begin as a member of the Hellfire Club, operate a rival school, or challenge Xavier's methods before eventually moving closer to the X-Men. As one of Marvel's most powerful telepaths, her relationship with Jean could begin as a competition and gradually develop into respect. Emma would also give the team an ally whose true intentions are never completely obvious. Cyclops, Kit Connor. Kit Connor is currently one of the strongest names connected to Cyclops. Deadline reported that Marvel selected him after meetings with several candidates. However, until the studio or the actor makes a public announcement, it is still safer to say that Connor has been reported as Marvel's choice for Scott Summers, rather than saying his casting has been officially announced. The Heartstopper actor combines youth, physical presence, and vulnerability. Scott grew up afraid of losing control of his powers, carries responsibility for the safety of his team, and frequently hides his insecurities behind discipline. Connor has enough presence to lead the group, while also showing the emotional pressure underneath that controlled exterior. The casting could also correct one of the biggest mistakes made by previous adaptations. Cyclops needs to lead the X-Men, make difficult decisions, and challenge Xavier without being reduced to Jean Grey's boyfriend. If Connor really does take the role, the dynamic between Scott and Jean could become the emotional heart of the new team, as long as Cyclops is given enough room to exist beyond that relationship. Jean Grey, Sadie Sink. Sadie Sink is the safest name on this entire list. After playing Jean Grey in Spider-Man: Brand New Day, the actress openly discussed the character in her first conversations surrounding the future of the X-Men. She is the first established piece of this new generation and could become the connection between Spider-Man's world and the formation of the mutant team. Sink combines emotional vulnerability with the feeling of enormous power being held beneath the surface. In Stranger Things, she portrayed anger, guilt, isolation, and courage, all essential emotions for a telepath who is terrified of losing control of her own mind. Her Jean Grey could begin vulnerable and uncertain, allowing the audience to follow her development instead of meeting a character who is already completely prepared. Jean would also be an excellent point of view character for introducing Xavier's school and the other mutants. However, Marvel needs to resist the temptation to immediately adapt the Dark Phoenix saga. Before confronting the Phoenix, audiences need to know Jean as a friend, a teammate, and a person. Only then would a future transformation carry the emotional weight that previous adaptations tried to reach far too quickly. The MCU's first X-Men team is still far from complete. Sadie Sink is the only choice already established within the story, while Kit Connor and Samara Weaving appear in the strongest reports. The remaining names are still divided between behind-the-scenes rumors, multiverse possibilities, and fan choices. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these casting choices would you keep, and who should play the remaining mutants? Build your own X-Men team in the comments. Give the video a like to help it reach more fans, and subscribe to Nerd Society. Your support strengthens our community and helps us continue creating new stories about Marvel and DC.